All right, guys, this is it. The final part of DSP versus the internet, excuse me, episode 76. Let's go.
Just two ice creams with two chewing gums in it.
Yeah.
For bloody £9 for two of them.
Nothing special, just a bottle of water does not need to be almost $5.
This is the first month I won't be able to afford rent.
Okay, so as you can see, we are definitely in a different place. We got a different background today. I went back up to New Jersey.
2 weeks ago. Inflation around the world is out of control. I'm not going to watch 20 minutes, but let's see what he has to say.
To see my parents for a few days, but I still wanted to make a video, so here we are. I saw in one of my previous videos about inflation in America, there were a good amount of comments talking about the whole rest of the world, so I thought that would be a good idea for today's video. So we're going to be going all over. We got a lot of statistics in this video, along with some clips and some comments from the previous video from you guys. So leave your comments down below and I'll pick some of them out for next video, but
Okay, can we get to it? No, I guess not. Okay, Okay, England.
That's the closest it's been to the Bank of England's 2% target in almost 3 years. But the drop was mostly caused by the energy price cap drop last month. Prices for electricity, gas and other fuels fell by 27.1% in the year up to April. That's the largest fall on record. But core inflation, which excludes volatile things like food and fuel, is still 3.9%. The Bank of England will want this to drop more before considering a base rate cut. But some big names in mortgage land have already cut their interest rates. HSBC cut their mortgage rates on 140 products last week. Barclays also announced cut to their 5-year fixes by as much as 0.45%. These deals aren't available to all borrowers, so it's worth talking to.
So what she's saying is the cost of fuel and energy has gone down in the UK, but everything else is still going up. And because of that, their Fed, the group that controls their interest rates in their country, is not cutting interest rates. Just like here, it's the same thing here, where we have not really seen much of a difference in prices. And so the Fed is holding and not breaking when it comes to our interest rates. But what's hilarious is that our media is misreporting, saying that inflation is down when literally it is not. Okay? Skip the comments. Canada.
Video that was taken in his supermarket in Canada. I'm pretty sure that these are just like the giant rice bags that you could get at a lot of these stores, but look at this. This almost looks like it's the end of days level, or say at like the beginning of COVID. I don't know if you remember seeing all of that stuff when people thought it was the end of days and everybody was going out, getting a whole bunch of water, canned foods, like scavenging, and all of these supermarkets were empty. Like all of the food and all of the aisles were just like barren because people thought you weren't going to be able to go into stores anymore. This is
Yeah, why are they doing this in Canada? I'm so confused. What was the point of that?
kind of what it looks like right now. People are fighting over bags of rice, which is generally very, very cheap to buy at a lot of these supermarkets, and it honestly looks like it's a Black Friday deal. Here's another comment from you guys, and because we're talking about the entire world, I could see a lot more people, not just from the US, doing the same thing. Once I get my bachelor's degree, I'm moving to Thailand or Japan. I know 10 out of 10 people would rather complain and do nothing than move out. Back when I was in Tokyo, I had friends and people that are nice. Prices were stable, and yes, some are expensive, but nothing like California, and transportation is something I miss. So at least with my experience, like I've told you a couple times, I went out of the country a couple months ago for the first time in my entire life, and I went to Japan. It was unbelievable how cheap everything was, especially bringing USD compared to the currency, which we'll talk about in a second, of the Japanese yen. But you didn't need a car at all, at least where we were in the cities, you know, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto. Their transportation is so good and so cheap that you actually don't need a car. If you were making currency at your job that was outside of the Japanese yen, USD, euros, I mean like the British pounds, you could live there pretty well for relatively cheap. And I mean, everybody was very nice to us. It was much nicer than going.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard that everything in Japan's expensive, so I don't really know what he's talking about. Unless things have changed in the last few years, I've heard the complete opposite of what he's saying.
So like New York City, or mainly a lot of cities in general in the US. And I know Japan definitely has their fair share of problems, because at least when I went, $1 was equivalent to 155 Japanese yen. And I think a couple weeks ago, it actually went up over 160. And I think right now it's around 158. So their economy definitely does have problems. They've been having problems for a while. But if you get hooked up with some sort of job where you're getting paid in a different currency that is much stronger than the yen, the quality of life is really good there. Obviously, you need to learn how to speak Japanese. I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of these places will start getting really popular because they basically have all the amenities that any place in Europe or America.
Okay. Canada.
eroding our
We're not watching this whole thing. We're only watching a little bit of it.
standard of living. Take a look at our productivity compared to all of our peers. We're now behind countries like Italy, Australia, and Finland, and we're way behind countries like the US, Germany, and Sweden. So what's the cause of this? Experts are saying that the nature of our population growth is working directly against productivity, since most of our new workers are employed in fields like retail, food, and accommodation. This explains why we're seeing job lineups like this in Canada for entry-level jobs, or lineups like this with hundreds of people for a job at McDonald's. Compared to the US, our standard of living has been in an absolute free fall since about 2015. In fact, some say Canada would be in a perennial recession if not for our trading ties with the US. Do you guys think we could fix this issue, or is Canada just gonna keep getting worse? Let me know your thoughts.
I will say this. Here in the United States, the line level, like he just said, retail, fast food, and amenities, those are the jobs that are openly available here, but they're not good jobs. Like, for example, you'll never get one of those full-time. You'll never get healthcare through one of them. They're going to give you very limited hours. In order to make a living, you would have to work 2 to 3 of those jobs and juggle them all at the same time to make enough to have, like, to pay rent or have a mortgage or raise a family. But we don't have, like, we have ginormous, how can I say? We don't have lines like that. But we do have people, our system's different. Almost all the shit is online now. So you get a resume or whatever, you put it up, and then this online services will start feeding you jobs. Apply to this one, apply to that one, apply to this one. There's no lines like that to apply for a job. Like, I've never even seen anything like that before. Now, some places do have what's considered like job fairs and stuff like that, where you'll go in on a day when it's a hiring fair, hiring event. But for mostly, it's all done online. So I've never seen stuff like that before. But at the same time, that's the problem here in America. We keep saying that our economy is getting better, that more jobs are being created. But then when they actually look at the jobs, it's like, oh, it's a 10-hour-a-week job making fries. That's not a job where you can make a living. That's a job for like a kid who just needs pocket money. And that's what's available. There are no career jobs anymore in the United States where you can just make a living, raise a family, and live the American dream. They're gone, or they keep going to the people who already have them and their other friends and family. It's nepotism. Like, they're holding the good jobs while the regular working class have nowhere to go. So they just end up working in service industry, retail, food, accommodation, and they can't go anywhere. You know, even people are going to college. They're going to 4-year college, coming out with a degree, and then they go work at McDonald's because there's no other jobs. It's pretty sad, huh? Okay, let's skip ahead because I could watch this video all day, but it's too long. An LGR Foods scrambled egg and provolone sandwich.
That's enough.
Butter.
Just gotta.
Scrambling his eggs in the butter.
We'll be seasoning after it's all scrambled up.
Okay. Oh, what did he put on there?
A bit of this minced garlic from, I don't remember what else I was making some other time, but it's still good.
No!
We'll use it. Just a little bit.
No! Yo, he said a little bit. Dude, do you know how strong garlic is? Yo, he put that much minced garlic? That's an... Dude, no! His whole mouth will be garlic. If you put that minced garlic on the sandwich like that, your whole mouth will be bitter, pungent garlic flavor. That is an awful idea for a sandwich.
Strong stuff on a little sandwich. Now, let's get our egg. Yeah, man. Love egg sandwiches. All right, let's season this sucker a little bit. I got some basil.
Basil's fine. He did his provolone, and he torched the provolone. There you go. It's a decent sandwich except for the garlic. The garlic was an awful idea.
I don't even have chips, do I?
That's good. It's a pretty good sandwich. There's no garlic. That's insane.
Welcome to the 2008 Do Shop. Our championship round is about to begin. Let's meet our competitors.
First up is Joe, who won his qualifying match by mounting a spoiler onto the back of his 1985 Honda Accord.
He's a pretty big douche, all right. But so's Luke, who punched his ticket to the finals last week by wearing a Che Guevara t-shirt and eating a Big Mac at the same time.
And they're off
Luke starts things off with a predictable color pop hat tilt combo, all while pretending as though he knows how to sea walk.
More like D-walk, Bob. Joe counters by revealing his new tattoo.
What language is that, Tom?
Not sure, Bob, but it definitely translates to douche.
Not to be outdone, Luke has just worn sunglasses to a casual poker game among friends.
Douche is wild! Joe now tosses on his high school letterman's jacket. Can we confirm? Yes, he graduated 6 years ago.
Back to Luke, who has just joined a co-ed City League softball team and is taking it way too seriously.
Oh, I think he got some boobage on that play, Bob.
Classic!
Wow,
Bears.
what an ass.
Speaking of douche, Joe has just joined a pickup basketball game in which neither team is designated skins.
Oh.
Will he? Oh,
Duh.
yes, he has taken off his shirt anyway.
This man has douche in his veins.
Luke knows that if he's gonna recover from that blow, he needs to pull out something truly douche-tacular.
Here is where we find what Luke is truly made of, and I hope for his sake it is douche. Luke starts off by failing to locate New Zealand on a world map.
That's good, but he's gonna have to do better than that.
Oh, and he has!
That's legal documentation
I don't even know where New Zealand is. I don't.
that he has officially changed his name to Chad.
Oh my douche! What? He is actually photoshopping abs onto his profile picture.
And this contest is over.
Joe has thrown in the bandana.
Next time, everyone.
Thank
This was from Rats and Beretta, 15, 16-year-old YouTube video, which is why the quality is so bad. It was funny, especially for the time. That was pretty funny. Why Nepo babies don't get biopics. Could this video be a reference to that video we watched months ago where it was a rich kid who made a video about his music and how he wanted to be different and stuff? Maybe that's what this is, a parody of that.
I'm not gonna stop till I've shot everybody in the face.
Beppo! Dad, you're not listening. I want to be a musician. Yeah, sure, son. Okay, cool. I'll set up a meeting with a buddy of mine. He's an exec at Universal. Thank you. So what kind of music do you play? I don't know. What kind of music should I do, Dad? Whatever you like, son. No wrong answers. We'll figure something out. Yes, I've broken in. So they tell me you're gonna be my music producer. Yes, sir. I've been making music my whole life since I used to live on the streets. Gross. Dad, I want a cleaner one. What? I'm telling you, this kid's got the kind of talent we can't ignore, because his dad's kind of a big deal. Just because I didn't earn this doesn't mean I don't deserve it. There's something wrong with you, man. You have to understand, son, the level of fame that you and I have, it comes at a price. What price, Dad? Sometimes you have to attend parties even if you don't feel like it. Oh my God, you're telling me this now?
Look how miserable he is.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to move up in the world when you were born on top? That doesn't make me feel any sympathy towards you. Where am I supposed to go? Sideways? What? Look, I know that unlike struggling artists, I have all the time in the world to commit to my craft, but I would still like some ghostwriters, Daddy. Do you know what the word meritocracy means? That sounds like a made-up poor person word. It is. Music is my life. It has been for the past 3 weeks. I know. Well, nobody's listening to it, Dad. All right, I'll make some more calls. Well, you do that. Now I'm gonna go play paintball with Jaden Smith. All I want is the chance to share my story. What is your story? I don't know. My ghostwriter's still working on it. Okay. This is my moment. If I don't nail this arena gig that my dad set up for me, I'll have nothing left. Except the mansion and the money. And the cars. And the women. And the free time to explore anything I want to. Throughout my whole life. And the yacht. And
Right. And what's funny is, like, why do you think nobody cared about that documentary and voted it down on YouTube? No one cares about Rich Boy who gets everything handed to him, right? By the way, I just realized we only have about 10 minutes left on the show. This is the time where I would look at the list and say, hey, is there anything I just want to pick because we're almost out of time? And you know, we're almost at the end. We almost got through all the videos this week, but we only have 10 minutes left. And as you can see, 11 minutes, 4 minutes, 26 minutes, 30 seconds, and 1 minute. Here's the Yellowstone explosion. Let's watch this. This is what was referenced earlier by the super members question.
Now to the extraordinary images tonight, the scare for visitors at Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah.
A very close call with a geyser raining down rock and debris. Here's ABC's Mola Lengi.
Run, run, run!
This is the stunning moment a geyser in Yellowstone National Park exploded today, sending a black plume of steam and mud up to the sky and panicked tourists running from falling rock and debris. No one was injured, but park officials surveyed the damage. The boardwalk, used by park goers, destroyed. The area shut down to visitors. It happened in Biscuit Basin near the Black...
I mean, they actually got lucky because they could have been on that boardwalk, right?
Diamond Pool, about 2 miles from the park's most famous geyser, Old Faithful. Hydrothermal explosions are common in Yellowstone, occurring when superheated water flashes to steam underground. The geyser, acting like a pressure cooker, exploding.
Geyser explosions like this can be triggered by earthquakes. In this case, there was no earthquake activity that might have triggered it. So this is really related to the local plumbing system of this particular feature in Biscuit Basin.
Well, David, scientists at Yellowstone tell us that this was a random event without warning. Still, they are investigating exactly what happened and what it might mean for the future of this area.
Right, because if people are going there daily for tourism, but it could blow up and kill them, obviously you can't have that, right? People are saying they want me to watch the MrBeast thing, but the problem is it's 25 minutes long. And in reality, I could just tell you exactly what it is because I know what this is about. This is actually not about his friend who apparently has been accused of grooming minors. This is actually about him being exposed for being a fraud because a former worker of his came out and made a video, a 50-some minute video, breaking down what MrBeast has done and essentially how he works. You want me to summarize? Because I can. I don't have to watch this video because I watched the 50-plus minute video. Here it is. That's the guy. That's the former worker right there, actually. Let me see if I can get to a good, like, screen grab here. To freeze on. I don't care about her face. I'm trying to... There's no good one to pause on, huh? Not really. Care about the stupid DMs and shit. The fuck? This is what he focused on, this woman? Here's about her. He's focused on women. The fuck does this have to do with it? Here, I'm just gonna watch it. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Here, let's see this. Let's go to this woman that he's focusing on.
Join any kind...
Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, I know what this is. Okay. So, last year, all right, on this very show, we watched a video documenting some of these MrBeast giveaways and where are they now? What happened to the people who won his biggest giveaways? One of the biggest giveaways, excuse me, was his own, like, Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory giveaway, where in his Feastables candy, there would be golden tickets, just like in the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And if you found a ticket, you'd enter into this reality TV contest, a series of challenges or whatever, to win a real-life chocolate factory. Okay? Now, while we were watching the video, it was explained that the people who actually won didn't actually win the contest, meaning they weren't supposed to be in it. They were YouTubers who already had almost 1 million subscribers. They were friends of MrBeast. They opened a whole bunch of candy bars and never got the golden ticket. And then all of a sudden, they were given one that had it in it. So they didn't legitimately get into the contest. Then, when they won it, they basically said they didn't want the candy factory. And the candy factory was sold off and given away. Okay? So basically, by watching the video, it's funny because the video is like, oh, here's someone who won a lot of money, they did well. Here's someone who won this contest, they did well. Oh, here's the candy contest where a bunch of already popular existing affluent YouTubers weren't supposed to be in it, but were handed an entry in it, basically outside of the rules of the contest, then through some kind of questionable means won the contest, but they don't even have the factory anymore. They got rid of it. Right? So it's like, huh? So right then and there, I said, so this is fake, right? I said it. I said, if that's the case, then it's pretty obvious most of his stuff is fake. Do you really believe that there's a video where he buries himself under the ground for a week and it's legit? Are you stupid? Do you really think he would do that? right? Like, but that's the thing. Like, all his videos are these stunts, these weird things. And then, so basically, anyway, that was what I knew of MrBeast about a year ago, right? I said, obviously, it sounds to me like it's all fake, right? Well, this person who's his former employee made a 50-minute expose exposing everything. First of all, he says, MrBeast has a 3-pronged plan. Yes, just like my old 3-pronged plan for success, he has one. But essentially what he did is he used YouTube as a means to build trust within children. He made it so that children now see him as some kind of a good Samaritan authority on life. So now kids follow him no matter what he does or where he goes, and they take his word for it no matter what he says, and they do whatever they're told. For example, he was telling children that go to the store where you see my Feastables candy bars and please clean up the shelf for me. Make it so that my candy bars are straight and aligned and nice, and the area is clean, that the tags are out so people can see the price. And if there's not enough, please go grab an employee and ask them to restock the shelf with my Feastable candy bar. Yes, he actually did this. It's documented. He does it. He says, but he knows his audience is kids. So he knows that children will do this. You see? So essentially what he's done over the course of 5 or so years on YouTube, he's made himself the #1 kid YouTuber. Even though he doesn't say that in his videos, that's literally what it is. It's the same as what happened with Fortnite, where even though you know kids are primarily the audience for Fortnite, the streamers who were the big streamers for it would never say that, but they knew they had a child's audience. You know, it's all children watching them. So it's predatory. What he does, 100%, he's a predator. He's a child predator of a different kind. He's not a sexual child predator. He's a child predator where he's buying trust. There was a video where he's walking down the street and he runs into a kid that's like 13 years old. And he says, hey, right now, open your phone and show me that you're subscribed to me on YouTube. And the kid goes, oh, I am. And he shows him, oh, here's $1,000. Thanks for subscribing. So now kids think if I subscribe to MrBeast and I run into him on the street, he'll give me $1,000. So they all subscribe to him. And he's done tons and tons and tons of stunts like that are insanely exploitative of children. Okay? So that's #1. He exploits children. #2, most of his videos are fake. There may be a few here or there that are legit, but most of them are fake. People have called out CGI. People have called out the fact that the time frame's wrong. People who have been in the videos, which is what this is right here, they offered anyone who lost $1,000 to sign away their rights to join any kind of class action lawsuit. I didn't sign, so I did not get the money. After this article came up, things started blowing up. They called everyone back and decided to offer an additional $1,000 to make up for inconveniences. So this is what I mean. All of his videos are faked like this, where you can't tell anyone what really happened. You can't actually be truthful to anybody. Instead, you just have to keep everything a secret, and we'll keep it hush hush, pay you money for it, yada yada. That's how his content is, right? So he's coming forth with videos that he's claiming are genuine. He says he's argued with people on social media. He's argued with people, no, our content's real. But it's fake, it's staged, it's bullshit. The stunts aren't real, the contests aren't real, none of it's real. It's just an entertainment product manufactured to look to be real, so that he'll get 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million views by children. Okay? So he exploits kids, and his videos are fake. Then on top of that, he does fake giveaways, meaning he'll be on a stream and say, we're going to do a merch giveaway. If you buy a piece of merch, all right, we'll sign it live, but we're going to randomly include money in certain ones. We'll include money in this one, money in that one. Okay? First of all, that's an illegal lottery. You can't do it. It's actually completely illegal. No matter where you are in the United States, you have to have rules you abide by when you do a lottery. So him just giving shit away like that is actually illegal. Then they actually showed on camera by accident that the signatures on the shirts are faked. They're not his. They're his crew's. They actually showed on camera by accident on a shirt, his crew put MB on it. So he signed MrBeast, even though it's not MrBeast's signature. You're paying for a piece of merch thinking you're getting a signature on it from MrBeast, and it's not. It's from one of his crew members. Okay? So, I mean, this is just 3 things from this 50+ minute video that were blown up. And what's happened is since this video came out like 2-3 weeks ago, Mr. Beast hit that guy, the former employee, with a cease and desist. And the former employee says, I'm not going to cease and desist. I have more to talk about. I have evidence of all of what I'm saying, and it's all coming out in future videos. By the way, the video is demonetized. So it's not like the guy made the video to make money. He's making nothing whatsoever on the video. He just got so fed up with Mr. Beast being Mr. Squeaky Clean, charitable poster boy of YouTube, he made the video to tell the truth. Okay? So, yeah, pretty insane, because after this happened, now everyone is making these videos. It's not just essentially, and by the way, everything I'm saying is based off the video that I watched of the former employee. I have no interaction with Mr. Beast. I have no evidence of anything. The employee presented the evidence in the video. Okay? So it's based on what the employee presented as evidence, what I'm stating here. Okay? So, I'm not saying anything. I'm just covering it in the video here. But look at this. There have been, no exaggeration, probably about 100 to 200 videos on YouTube now in the last 2 weeks that look just like this. Some of them have 5 to 10 million views. And they're all saying exactly the same thing. Mr. Beast just got exposed. And it's not just about, like I said, yeah, he had a former friend who apparently now has been exposed supposedly for child grooming. And he, you know, he didn't really do anything about it, or he never really called him out for it. But that was how this started. But then when people started to see that not really catch, I guess you could say, that's essentially when basically this guy came out and did his video, this expose video. So this is pretty insane what's going on with Mr. Beast right now. For the last 2 weeks, it's been like this, and it's getting worse and worse. Like, at this point, I'm very curious what's going to happen. Because if people actually go after this guy for fake lotteries, that's illegal. And he could actually go to jail for it. Or pay millions upon dollars in fines for illegal lotteries. All right? If it's found that his videos are deceptive and not real, but he claimed they were real, that's fraud. That's also a crime. So he might actually get caught out for multiple crimes if people can prove what they're saying. I'm very curious what's going to happen moving forward with this guy. The thing is, children might not care, right? They might not. Children are very gullible. They're very believable. They might just keep believing this guy is some kind of a real-life superhero, right? When in reality, I mean, I've told you guys this before, and I'll end with this, all right? I'll end with this. There's a difference between charity and philanthropy. True charity is when you give away of yourself, you sacrifice something of yourself to help others, and you don't personally benefit from it at all. In fact, people shouldn't even know. What is charity? Donating your time at a soup kitchen. Instead of doing something with your time that would benefit you or your family, you went to a soup kitchen and literally just helped feed the homeless. You took your hard-earned money and you actually put it towards a cause, but you didn't publicly proclaim it for personal gain. You just did it behind the scenes. That's charity work. You understand? Now, philanthropy is when you're trying to help people through any means, but it doesn't have that criteria of secrecy and you don't help yourself. Literally everything he has done, Mr. Beast, is considered philanthropy, but not charity. Literally none of it has ever been super secret behind the scenes. It's all self-serving. Every single video he makes is self-serving. All of his businesses are self-serving. They're all self-serving because he benefits from it directly, right? It was all about giving away. Why on earth would he be sitting there saying, buy my merch with a chance to have me throw extra money in it and then have someone else sign his signature on it? It's a racket, right? It's a racket. And he's the master of the racket. He's earned the trust of millions of children around the world, and he knows that, and he's using it in any way, shape, or form to personally benefit himself and his giant empire that he's built for himself. But in reality, sorry, it's not legit. It's all based on a lie that this guy's a good guy. It's all self-serving stuff, you know? Anyway, you know, it is what it is, and people will expose it. I'm not going to sit here and do it, right? I have nothing to do with that. I'm a tiny little guy. People have already made 5 to 10 million view videos on YouTube about the topic, so I'm not going to be the one to be speaking up about it. But that's what that would have been if we looked at that video in depth. Basically, it's people coming out who are part of his videos saying they were fake, they were staged, but we were paid to keep quiet. And basically people analyzing all his contests over the years and saying, that's an illegal lottery, that's an illegal lottery, that's an illegal lottery. And then seeing how he basically abuses kids, because it is abuse. It is complete child grooming and manipulation. It's just not for sexual use. It's for essentially attention farming. He has attention farmed children around the world through underhanded means, and YouTube doesn't stop it. They should, in my opinion. Like I said, with YouTube, it certainly should not be, oh, everything goes as long as someone doesn't slap someone with a lawsuit. Someone at YouTube should be there and be like, all right, we need to actually have a department that judges what's morally right and wrong. Because even though we might not get sued into the ground for this, it's still fucked up that we have someone who is literally grooming an entire generation of children to think he's a fucking pariah just so he can become rich. At some point, someone needs to stop this shit, right? So anyway, I just, to me, you know my opinion on this shit. I'm not going to like that. I'm not, I don't like this guy. I never did. But you can like him if you want. But all this is now coming to the forefront and being exposed, and that's what that video is about. And I'm telling you, there's like 100 videos like that on YouTube now, all based on this information coming out. So, okay, fair enough. All right, thank you guys for watching DSP versus the Internet. I appreciate you hanging out with me here today. Hopefully, next week we'll see what happens, because obviously, I have a lot of things going on, and like I said, next week there's a possibility with this documentary coming out on Review Tech that may happen, and therefore I'm going to be doing that, and this will have to get bumped. We'll see. So let's leave it to say, yes, next Sunday will be the next React show, with the possibility that it may be getting bumped. All right? Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.